Hello, and today I'm going to be giving tips out to indie gamers. Sort of getting their game out and sort of things they should do. Now I'm going to start with getting your game out, tips on that first, and I'll talk about updates and shit you could do to your game to get more people to get it. Okay, let's start with advertisement basically. Basically, I think if you're an indie game developer, you do not have a lot of money. I mean, you know, there's not much. Now, a good way to get your game out there is obviously YouTube. Get your own YouTube, Twitter your YouTube all around and shit. And on your YouTube, try and do videos of like the game's progress before it's released. Make a YouTube before the game's released, because then you can show like progress towards the game, and then you can show a trailer, and then people get excited more because they seen like some of the game before it was even released, like that, and they saw a trailer as well, and they think, oh, this looks real good, I might buy this. Because usually when people see trailers, they don't always buy the game straight away. And you need to make a good trial. Don't make fucking. It may be an indie game, but make a freaking trial. Like, that may sound silly, but you need to make a good trial, because people are gonna try the trial and see whether your indie game's good or not. And if it's like a 1 second thing, you go in there and they say, oh, you need to buy the full game to get this, then it's just like, they're not gonna get your game. You need to make a good trial, because then they get interested in your game. But since you're an indie game developer, they usually give you like, I think it's like Xbox with Microsoft, they give you like 50 tokens. Like, they're like codes, I think, and you can give them out to people. I would give them out to people on like YouTube who are big reviewers, and they could review your game. And the codes, you get them before obviously the game's released. They give you the codes, and then people can try it out and shit. But you can keep a few for your friends, and obviously you need one for you because you made the fucking game. And you're gonna play it to see whether you play it before you even publish it, because that's another thing. Don't advertise something and the game's complete rubbish. No one's gonna buy it. You have to test it before you release it. Don't forget that. Otherwise you're screwed. Because you could release a game that's completely like rubbish, like so many bugs in it. It'll end up like Fable 3. Fable 3 is a good game, just had many bugs in it and the storyline was too short. Getting off topic there. Yeah, so advertisement. You get one of your friends, he may have like a YouTube channel. If you still got a few tokens left, like get him to review it and put a YouTube video up. Get someone big like Rooster Teeth to review your indie game. I'm sure your indie game will get loads of sales if they say good things about it. If they like it. Moving to the next topic. Releasing the game, updates and stuff like that. Okay, keep it simple. Okay, updates. You need to release updates to your indie game. Release new kind of stuff, because the more stuff you do, eventually you can put the price up from 80 points to 400. Because you can get the highest amount you can get on Xbox Live indie games. You can put up to 500 megabytes. Like, your game can be up to maximum 500 megabytes. So if you start off with your game simply being like, say 100 megabytes, you've got 400 megabytes of room of updates you could possibly put in there to improve the game. Obviously you're not going to use all of that. So you just release some good updates, like improvements to the game, fix bugs, add in new features. Like most multiplayer games on indie games, Xbox Live indie games, they need to have a single player as well, because some people like have Xbox Live but they only have silver, and they can't play Xbox Live even on indie games, which is pretty silly. But yeah, there's quite a few of them, as you would expect. because it's like it's got like, I think it's like 77 million people on Xbox Live, so you got a big market. I think something like that. No, yeah, it is about that. Yeah, it is a big market. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. There's gonna be a lot of haters or hate reviews on indie games, because typically people make indie games kind of rubbish most of the time. I mean, there are quite a few good indie games, but overall, most of them are rubbish. But yeah, just keep positive. Don't lose yourself in this massive horde of people. Like when people comment on YouTube videos about your games, say hates things, saying this game sucks. Don't worry about it, because you know what? You're getting a view from them, and they're taking time to comment on your video. So, you know, they love it. It's entertaining. They're just bored and don't understand what they're watching. So if they understood what they're watching, or they didn't enjoy it, then why would they comment? Wasting more time commenting on a video that you don't like. It's pretty pointless. If I watch a video I don't like, I dislike it, and then I don't return to that video. So I don't leave a comment. You know what I mean? Twitter's a good example of getting your game out there, because Twitter's always good. You can just tweet to people who are also other small game developers and try and get collaborations with them. Like do a YouTube video with them, or do a YouTube video with them playing Minecraft or something, and you guys can talk about each other's games and review each other's games and do collaborations, and you can like follow each other on Twitter and talk to each other on Twitter and say, hey, look at this guy's video, you know, take a look at my friend, the other game developer's video, and he would say, take a look at my other friend, games developer. You know, it's just like, that's a good example. Like, or Facebook Facebook pages, you know, you gotta have your Facebook page up, you gotta have box art. Box art's very important. You don't want your box art to look like a bag of weed, unless the game is about weed. So you gotta make it really good. A good description goes quite well with the game. Not too long ago, because people get bored reading it. And put a good trailer out. Don't just put something random out that you just made in your back garage. Like, make a proper video for the game. Use Reddit to get your video out there, your trailer video, and other videos for the game that you put, like the process of making the game and shit, because people like to see behind the scenes and shit. So, and if this is your first game, you gotta make sure it's polished to like the absolute minimum. Because when people see your first game and you're a small developer, they judge you on your first game. So if your first game is really bad, they could not come back to your fan page, whatever you want to call it, your Facebook page, Twitter or YouTube. They may not like it, and that could be really bad, because you release the next game and you have no one there. You know, as you release games, and if they get popular, you get more people on your Facebook page, more people on YouTube, and they keep up with your YouTube channel. So you gotta keep updating it when you're making new games. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for watching this. And there's some simple tips. I guess you could ask other YouTubers as well that are thinking about getting into game development. Ask them to review it. There's loads of people who get to review it, since you have 50 tokens with Xbox Live indie games when you release a game there. Thank you.